This is my sissy boo, Helen. That's her nickname, Helen. Her real name is Lashana. No, I'm just kidding. It's Lashana. This is my sister-in-law. This is my baby brother, Terrence's wife. This is my auntie Pinky. And my sister-in-law, Tynese, my brother Tim's wife. And that's my baby, Shelby, my oldest daughter.
Well, I mean, growing up anyway, first of all, Shannon's a Capricorn. So she's always, like, being, like, a kind of perfectionist. Like, even when we were kids, I can remember we lived on Roslyn. She had her little Barbie house, and it wasn't even a whole house. It was like the square, like an apartment. She made her own furniture, you know, Barbie clothes, everything like that. She always put things together. She, like, from a very young age, had a lot of common sense. Like, we were little, same on Roslyn. She had a paper route at, like, what, 7 or 8?
I did have a paper route.
We would go with her. She was making her money.
I had a paper route.
I don't know how. My great-grandmother, Stella, God rest her soul, loved us to death. And she always had a big place in her heart for Shannon. And Stella saved her that big monkey bank. And she would save her money. And she had filled that monkey bank all the way up. I remember she went and cashed in. Mm-hmm. We took that thing up to Cash Bargain Center.
We sure did.
And she got her some summer clothes. Or, no, school clothes.
Oh, that's summer clothes. Summer clothes.
But the whole point is that she's always had a direction for something. Like, at a young age. It didn't matter what it was for. You know, she just knew what she wanted to do. Like, as a young person, she always wanted to be independent. She always wanted to make her own way, no matter what obstacles came. Like, when Shannon started her singing, and like y'all mentioned in that Guy Black Talent show earlier, it was like, that's when I seen it pick up. She's always sang. Like, we were young in the church, First Samuel Missionary Baptist Church, and all our people, and she sung there. All of my family sang. And it just kind of like progressed until, like I said, you did the Guy Black Talent show. And then after that, it just like more doors opened up for her. And she just started doing more and more things, recording. And I just watched her grow and grow as an artist, you know what I'm saying, vocally with her voice. And like I said, she came a long way from Let Me Be Your Angel to, you know, she was singing every day. And then, like I said, like even my Uncle Brian, my sister said one day, she said for like a few years straight, she was like, I'm getting out of here, I'm moving to Georgia. Well, and nobody believed her. Mm-hmm. And I remember I went over her house one day and her boxes was packed. And I was like, why are your boxes packed? She was like, I'm moving to Georgia. And even within like that period of time, like she had different little obstacles that, remember we were talking about, you said, something's always trying to hold me back. Remember, I'm not gonna mention, but and I was like, Shannon, I was like, calm down, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be all right. And then that day, it was like that hurdle was jumped. It was like there was always a hurdle. She jumped over it, and she was able to.
Always a fight.
Yeah, it was a fight, but at the end of the day, she always was able to get to where she wanted to be, because as long as she has been singing, as long as she's been doing what she's been doing, whether it's good, bad, whatever, just any obstacle that's always been in her way, she has always stayed focused. Young mother, you know what I'm saying, going to finishing school, getting a degree, all of that. Like, she, even to where she is now with her career, and with her singing, like, she's not going to let anything hold her back, because she's going to try to be the best that she can be. And she's one of those people that she's going to put herself first. You know, she's going to do what she needs to do, and then she's going to do what she needs to do to make her happy. And her chasing her dream has always made me as proud of a sister as I can be of her. So that's the way I feel about it.
Thank you, Helen.
Yeah.
I have been a part of the family for almost 20 years.
Wow.
And I just am thankful to be a part. Shannon is awesome. I've known her for a while. She's always had a zeal and a love for singing. And she has perfected her craft. She's amazing in what she does. She puts her all into it. And just when you see her perform, you can tell that she does have a passion and a love for singing. And it's a love that, because it comes from her heart, I think it reaches other people's heart. And I think that's one of her drives and her passion, is that her music not only affects her, but it affects other people around her. And she's very loving. She loves family. She's very driven. She's very smart and intelligent. And she's just a well-rounded person. And I'm grateful to know her and to be a part of the family, and for her just welcoming me with open arms. And I just look forward to seeing what God has for her, because I know that she loves singing and that is her passion, and that she is driven, like Helen said, and that she'll let nothing hold her back, not even herself. I know it's a struggle when you're out there and you're giving it all you have, but even with it being a struggle, she still has that tenacity to keep on going, keep giving it her all, no matter what, because it comes from her heart and it's what God has put in her, and she won't let it die. So I just thank the Lord for her, and just being an example for other people, other women, no matter what your background may be or what your struggle has been, just to see her and to know that she has defied some odds and that she has jumped over some hurdles, but she didn't let it stop her. She continued. And I think that's a positive role model for our children, for our young people, just to know that, you know, if you do have a goal, a dream, not to give up on it, not to let it die, but to see it through to fruition. And the sky is the limit, you know, as far as what is in store for her if she just continues to do what it is that she loves, because what comes from the heart reaches the heart. So, and I love you, Shannon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And they done said all there is to say. I mean, I don't know what to say, but Shannon has always really loved music from when she was born. And she was groomed to really sing. You know, her mother sang, my mother sang. You know, from when the time she was a baby, she was singing. And she was the first-born granddaughter from my mother's first-born granddaughter. So she had a lot of love. She had 10 aunties and uncles to hold her and spoil her and cry over who's going to hold her. And, you know, and then she started singing Stacey Lattisaw when it came out, Let Me Be Your Angel, remember? And she started singing Let Me Be Your Angel. I think that was the first radio song she had learned, and she was singing over and over and over, and then we knew that she was going to be a singer. We knew she was destined for fame. And I'm like, you know, she's always had a love for music and a love for people, and she's genuine about everything she does. She don't judge, and she has no prejudice in her heart. And she's always been a straight shooter for what she wanted. Going to school, singing, moving to another state. And she's a very hard worker. She works very hard for what she wants, and she's determined. So she's got a lot going for her. She's got, you know, family support that loves her, you know, and brothers and sisters that love her, and her children love her. So she got a lot to write and sing about, you know. So she's doing great. She's a wonderful person and a great human being. And she's come to be a beautiful lady, and she's found, you know, she found herself. She know who she is. You know, some people go through life and they never know who they are or what they want. She knows exactly who she is, you know, and what she wants. So when I see her singing on stage in them cornrows, I said, she knows who she is. Welcome.
Well, my first time seeing a picture of Shannon, Tim showed it to me about 10 years ago. And I looked at it and I'm like, that's not your sister. He was like, yes, it is. She's a singer and he played music. I was like, wow, that's amazing. From the time I met her, she was sweet to me. Everybody in the family accepted me. Shannon sang at my wedding and it was like a dream come true. It was so beautiful. Everything that she does is beautiful. She's a beautiful person, inside and out. She's giving. Times when my husband and I were down to this, she just mysteriously is there. So these 10 years have been great. I'm so happy to be a part of this family, and I always say, that's my sister. Y'all show up and show out because she always does. She loves everyone, and I'm just grateful to be in her life.
Thank you. This is my baby Shields. So, you know, I know people know, well, people may not know that I had Shelby when I was 15.
You did awesome.
I had Shelby when I was 15 years old. And I was never ashamed once she came here. I was ashamed when I was pregnant because I felt like I had such a bright future ahead of me, especially with me making the grades that I was making in school. And when I became a teen mom, I felt like I had let my parents down because all I ever wanted, you know, growing up was to make my mom and dad happy. I never wanted to let them down. I never wanted them to look at me and be like, you know, I was a disappointment. And so I hid my pregnancy from my daddy till I was like 7 months. I got the scar on my stomach right now from still buttoning up my pants, trying to hide Shelby. And then once I told him, it's like my stomach blew up overnight. I got huge. But me and my baby were like this. I never wanted, first of all, I didn't want people judging me because people did judge me. So because of people judging me so much for having a child so young, I know it caused me to be a little harder on Shelby than what I probably should not have been. But I didn't know what else to do because I didn't want her to look a mess. I didn't want her to be acting bad in public or in church, crying and acting bad and stuff like that. I didn't know that that was okay. You know, like she could be a kid. She could be running around and stuff in church, but I didn't have her that. She was sitting right next to me in church. Even, you know, I left home at an early age with my baby, and we lived from house to house to house. We was on the bus together, girl, because I had to go to school and work because I felt like I was a disappointment for being a teen mom anyway. So everything else in my life, there was not going to be any more disappointing to myself or to my mom and dad. And that's why whatever I had to do, I did it to make sure that me and my baby were going to make it, you know. Like, I just wanted us to make it. I didn't want anybody to look at my life and say that I statistically turned out to be the girl who had a baby at 15. And I just didn't want that to be my life. So I dedicated my whole life to making sure that I achieved everything that I set my mind to. And She was the sweetest little baby, and she was so beautiful. She was so beautiful, and I was so proud of her. Once she came here, like I said, that shame went away because she was just so pretty. And she's 24 years old now, and I'm 27.
And
How does that happen? No,
And
just
Shannon is always crying.
I
She cries
am.
at weddings. She can't finish a
TV.
song. TV, funerals, and she's scared of dogs. Even puppies.
But I'm always crying.
She's scared of puppies too.
Well, I was always with my mom. From studio, everything with my mom. I didn't really understand. I knew what she was doing, but I didn't really understand her drive until I had my own kids and I really sat back and think like, dang, my mom, she went hard for me and my sister. My mom was the best mom she could be. No matter how hard she was on us, it taught us lessons. I have my own kids now, so I see everything that my mom did and the way she was, why she was like that towards us. I understand it all completely now. But my mom worked hard for me and my sister. We was never dusty, always had our hair done. We was always together, always. And like they said, my mama is an example for my entire family. She's a good example for my entire family. They all look up to her, my cousins, my age. Everybody looks up to my mom because she's done so much and achieved so much throughout our family. I love my mom so much, and I thank you so much for everything you've done for me and Sydney.
I love you too, Shelby.
Mama was the best mom ever, despite however she feels not right. She loved us. She went to school, she finished high school, went to college, jobs, working 2 jobs.